Alright, yo, what's up, guys? My name's Patrouski, and today I wanted to make sort of a just casual type ramble talking video talking about my thought process heading into the upcoming event season. So, for those that don't know, if you don't know what event season in PokeMMO is essentially the Halloween event, Christmas event, and Lunar New Year event all combined, because essentially all of the major holiday events in PokeMMO happen back to back to back. The Halloween event usually happening on the 31st on Halloween, lasting for about 5 to 10 days and then ending. And then you have around, like a month, maybe a month and a half to prepare for the Christmas event, 2 months or whatever, which comes obviously around Christmas, around December 25th, December 26th sort of deal. And then when that ends, you have until around early February, if I'm recalling correctly, for the Lunar New Year event / late January. So only a month to stock up Pokeyen there. Like, imagine, investing all of your money into the Christmas event, and then you only have 1 month to earn enough capital for the Lunar New Year event, which the Lunar New Year event is like a super important one because that's where shiny charms come into play. So there's a lot of financial preparation that goes into preparing for not only, just the Halloween event or the next event, but for all of event season. You sort of have to, or I like to encourage rationing out and planning out, like, hey, what's my strategy? Am I going to invest everything into the Halloween event? Do I want to have 10 mil after the Halloween event in pure cash left over? Do I want to have 5 mil? Do I want to have 15 mil? Like, how much money do I want to have left over? Can I spend everything during the Halloween event, and then for the Christmas event I need to have like 5 to 10 mil left over because shiny charms are super important to me? Like, what's your strategy? So today I want to make a video talking about that because it is really important to plan really ahead of time. And this is just my video representation of my plans and talking about why I'm planning so early. Because you might be saying, October, that's not, I guess the Halloween event's what, 2 months away? I guess 3 if you count what's the math? 1, 2, it's like 3 if you count the full month of October, since we are in early August, since the event takes place on October 31st on Halloween or whatever. So it's interesting, I guess. People ask me, why are you preparing so far out? 3 months ahead, but it's important. You have to really, especially going into event season. Like, it's not just preparing for one event. You're preparing for 3 events. So it's really important to start planning early. So I'm preparing now. As you guys can see, my cash stack has already risen really fast. If you've been following me, my cash stack has been pretty much depleted recently, because after the 10-year anniversary event, I invested every dime into that event, as well as every single dime that I made after that event was going into my Cranidos hunt, and I've put the shiny Cranidos hunt on hold due to this, because I need to have money during the event season. If you want to make it big in Pokemon, if you want to last long, you need to make these investments. And obviously it's up to you. Like, you don't have to invest, but even if you're not going to invest, it's nice to have X amount of money heading into the event, because it's nice to be able to pick up the limited vanities that you might want. So even if you're not someone who's interested in Pokemon long term and picking up these, investments, it might be nice just to be able to get that cool vanity you want. Maybe you're a huge fan of pandas, and maybe they put out a panda mask this year. I don't know. It could be. It's important to, I guess, have some capital heading into the event to pick up, any sort of limited vanities. Some people like to collect one of everything, which I really respect. I think that's something that I might try to start doing. We'll see. So for example, I have actually one of everything from the 10-year anniversary event, except I'm missing one shiny Kanto Friends particle effect. So I might pick one of these up before the event season, and that might be the one thing that I do before the last big spending thing before heading into the actual event season. Excuse me, I'm so sorry about that. But anyways, I brought up the calculator here, the nice Windows calculator to carry the channel, which is always brought up, and I love that, and I love that meme, respect it. So let's talk about math. Let's say I'm making, I'm gonna lowball. Right now I'm actually making like 320k per gym run with the 100% riches charms, and I think I would actually make that with the 75% as well, since the cost has changed. Although I bought, yeah, because you have to expect the possible sell chance. So it's pretty similar essentially. Let's do the math. I'm gonna lowball. I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna be making 320k. I guess I could actually, no, I would be, because there's 3 months. So honestly, I'll calculate it 300k. We'll play it really safe. Let's say I'm making 300k a day leading up until the Halloween event. 300k a day. So that means I'm doing my gym run every day. Let's do 20. Let's say that's how I have to do it. Let's say I do my gym run 25 days out of the month. Let's say, you know, I'm either lazy or I'm sick or something happens. Maybe I'm busy that day. Gotta, you know, help with yard work. I don't know, something happens where I couldn't do that day's gym run. So let's do 25 times 300k, and this is going to give us our Pokeyen made in 1 month, or at least 1 month for me on average, factoring in all of these things, factoring in, you know, the loss of Pokeyen. I'm undercutting. I like to be really conservative with my guesstimates because I'd rather have more Pokeyen, right, than less Pokeyen. Like you kind of like, I'd rather, you know, shoot for a lower amount of Pokeyen or shoot for a realistic amount if something goes terribly wrong, and then be happily surprised if I, you know, having that little bit of leeway. Obviously, very, very simple stuff. 7 minutes left in my gym run. Speaking of, let me head over to the Sinnoh really quick. But yeah, so 7.5 mil per month. So we've got 3 full months. We have this. We still have all of August, all of, what is it, September? God, I'm terrible in months. All of September, and then all of October, because the event doesn't actually start until October 31st. So we can take this number, 7.5 times that by 3. That's going to put us at 22,500,000 made just with gym runs heading up until the Halloween event. So that is a decent amount of Pokeyen, I will say. It's a decent amount. My goal heading into the Halloween event is to get 20 mil. I think that's my biggest goal. Now I don't want to invest everything into the Halloween event. That'll be super, super important to me. I will be rationing out my funds, and I will be having a essentially a number left over after each event where I'm like, hey, like it's gonna be flexible. It's gonna depend based on what events are in. It depends what cool events It depends what vanities come out during the Halloween event and what vanities come out during the Christmas event. I'm gonna look to save around 10 mil. Hopefully, we'll see post. And you also have to calculate. Okay, so you do have the biggest leeway between the Halloween event and the Christmas event. So I think last year I spent all of my money on the Halloween event every dime, and then I just did gym runs every day until the Christmas event, and that was my funds. So we have from, let's see, you have around 2 months, because yeah, you're from October 31st to, I'm looking at my calendar on my computer really quick. Yeah, you're from basically 2 months of gym runs after the Halloween event is over. Although it's important to factor in, you're gonna be missing out because you're gonna be doing the event for like 7 days. You want to guesstimate, so you're actually doing less than 2 months. You're actually, let's say we're doing, let's say we're going to count it at 45 days. That's really, really generous, or really conservative. Sorry, that's really conservative. Let's say we miss some gym runs, plus we're really busy with the event, plus maybe we're burnt out and don't want to do gym runs after the event. That's going to put us at 45 times, let's also calc at 280k per gym run. Let's say we're out of Rich's Charms, 12.6 mil. So take that 12.6 mil plus the 22.5. That puts at 35 mil so far with total. So this is total possible profits, not including the profit we would gain from the Halloween event. So there's a lot of math to fucking factor in here, right? So I think my goal leaving the Halloween event is going to be to have, I think, 5 mil. And then the Christmas event, I'm going to want to leave with 10 mil. Because that's when you'll really start to I guess, compounding your money and really start to be gaining a ton. You'll also gain a ton of money during the Halloween event, which is a big deal. It'll depend on what vanities. If there's like not many vanities that I care about / I think will do well during the Halloween event, obviously I'll adjust, but it's kind of my general thought process. I think having 10 mil saved by the end of each event is probably a good starting point. This video has become extremely rambly, but I hope it's been helpful. I hope it's just shown you guys some numbers, and I guess shown you guys sort of a little bit of my thought process on things while I kind of finish up my gym run here. I don't think there's anything else left to talk about. Kind of just, that's the main thing, just factoring how much money you're going to be making from your gym runs, being conservative, understanding things from a realistic perspective, factoring everything in, making sure you have enough money for each event. Having enough money for all 3 events is a really, really tough thing to do. It's a really, really tough thing to manage. I definitely just kind of wing it, and I definitely think it's important to have a rough overview and a rough assessment, while also adjusting based on how good the events are and how much time you have to play the events to make the money. It's also a really important thing. So essentially, my advice for this video: have a rough estimate, have a rough goal in mind, be able to answer the question, how much money do I want to have heading into the event season? How much money do I want to have after the Halloween event? How much money do I want to have after the Christmas event? And how much money do I want to have heading into the Lunar New Year event, which is, in my opinion, the most important event just because of shiny charms. But that pretty much covers it. If you can answer those questions, that's a good thing. Think about those questions. Try to plan some things out for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like it. If you didn't, make sure to dislike it. That's okay as well. Leave comments, feedback, subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO content. Check out the Discord link down below for a really cool community and to learn a lot about the game and get more in-depth numbers on stuff like this. And then finally, if you want to go above and beyond, if I've entertained you enough or informed you enough during your PokeMMO journey, you can hit up that PayPal link down in the description. It's always appreciated, but never required. Thank you all so much. Have a great day. I'll see you later. Peace.